Okay, I hope we are live. No idea if this is working, so I'm going to do a quick test, make sure I can hear it on mine, and then we'll start breaking down what's going on today in the NFL. Been a busy day, so let me just make sure this is up and running first, and then we'll dive in from there. So hopefully this is working. Let me just make sure. And then we'll start breaking down. That audio quality is horrible. Let me try to fix that for you guys. So let me just make sure this is up and running first. And hold on. So this is working. That audio quality is horrible. Hold on. Is that better? No. Okay, that's better. Let me just make sure one more time this is working, and then we'll go from there. I think we're good. Okay. So, sorry about that. A little awkward, but Mike had some issues. So, pull back down. Okay, that's better. Not the best, but we'll just run with it. Okay, guys, been a busy day. What can you do? A lot of moves. We're going to break down all that I've seen that are notable. Maybe some more will happen as we dive into it. So, some of the first moves, I guess we'll go with the biggest one of the day, is J.C. Jackson is now a Charger. He got what looks like 5-year, $83 million deal. I don't know what the guarantees look like on that yet. There might be some guarantees not. I'm not sure. But, I mean, it sucks for a Patriots fan. Of course you wanted to see him back in New England, but it just looked like it wasn't going to happen. It looks like the camps were just too far apart. I think New England valued him more as a how you would say, positional, fit. He wasn't, I guess, in their eyes, a star player. I would disagree. I think he's a top 3 corner in the game. But he's now a Charger on that stacked defense with Khalil Mack. Joey Bosa, I mean, just a crazy amount of talent on that team. So we're going to have to go through there. I feel bad for the AFC West. As you guys know, that division is now easily, I don't even think there's a debate anymore, the best division in football. So we're going to have to deal with that. Patriots won't have to deal with that till the playoffs. I don't know if we play the AFC West. I'm ignorant. I don't know. I'm just going to tweet about this. I'm live. Let's talk about. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. So I'm stop looking at my phone the whole time. I've been looking at my phone pretty much the entire day. So J.C. Jackson was the first big news. The second big news, I would say, would be, I'm going to go over this some of the other days. I didn't go over this yesterday in the yesterday episode. Completely forgot. Maxx Crosby signed a $100 million deal with the Oakland Raiders. That's awesome. His story is great. He had alcohol addiction. Got over that. I think it was 2 years to the day he signed the contract extension. Amazing story. And you love to see that from a guy like him. Then you have, that's huge. I think some people would call it an overpay, but I think he's one of the few guys where you can call him elite at both his run defense, his ability to stop the run, and his ability to really get after the quarterback. He's elite in both. So I don't think it's a stretch to call him, or to pay him $25 million a year, personally. So awesome get for the Raiders. They have to keep competitive in that division. And let's go for it. So that's the second big deal. Now let's actually go to today. So the first big news of the day happened literally 30 seconds after the legal tampering period begins. Is Alex Kappa going to the Bengals? That's huge. Let me lower this mic a little bit. That's huge, personally. You need to keep Burrow up and healthy. That's what you need. And to get a guy like Alex Kappa, yeah, he's kind of not the most known player. He was kind of quiet in that Tampa Bay Super Bowl run, and last year However, he was one of the key cogs. Him and Ryan Jensen really, along with Wirfs, really made that offensive line stable, especially since they don't really have the talent on the left side of it. They were supporting Brady a lot. And getting Kappa away from them in the Bengals system, it's only going to help Burrow. You got to keep your franchise guy up as long as you can, especially since he just took you to the Super Bowl. Huge get for them. I hope that Burrow can succeed with him for a while. He's going to need help. Some boring Patriot news. There's a lot of Patriot news today that a lot of fans don't like. I don't mind it personally. Hoyer re-signed. Massive for Mac Jones. Keeps a stable voice in with him, and that's important for a quarterback, especially for a quarterback that's going to undergo a lot of change. McDaniel's gone, offensive line gone, offensive line coach gone. The scheme is going to change pretty drastically. There's even rumors Bill Belichick is going to call plays. I don't think that's true, personally. However, regardless of who's calling plays, whether that's Joe Judge, Bill Belichick, you need to have somebody in his ear that is consistent. It's what he saw last season. It's who he learned from last season, along with Cam Newton. So, huge get for the Patriots and re-signing Hoyer. It's a very underrated move. Not your best quarterback. It probably means the end of Jarrett Stidham. I doubt New England carries a third quarterback that isn't a developmental guy. Look to them into the draft and be like a guy like Carson Strong, late day 2, early day 3. Wouldn't be shocked to see us go quarterback in the draft at all. But I'm hyped for it. I think it was a good re-sign. Let's see, the next move would have to be the Trubisky move. This happened about an hour after free agency started. Mitchell Trubisky is going to Pittsburgh. Now, a lot of people are clowning this move, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this one. Trubisky, last time we saw him in the NFL, that's good. We get that. But let's not forget that he's a former first-round pick who made the playoffs a lot under Matt Nagy. That is hard to do. As any quarterback, you saw field success with him last year. Nagy is just not a great play caller at the NFL level, and to make the playoffs with that multiple times, you could say it's the defense, you could say what you want. It takes talent at the quarterback position, and Pittsburgh made playoffs with a tenth of Big Ben. They can make playoffs with Trubisky. It's going to be a tough AFC North. You have the AFC West to deal with, playoff positioning wise and seeding wise. However, if the Steelers can make a few additional moves, especially on the offensive line, and I think shoring up the few holes in that defense, especially at corner, the Steelers are a team to watch, and I don't think it's rough to say that they could be the second seed in the AFC North. They're in the North. A few other deals. Emmanuel Ogbah re-signs with Miami. I think it was a kind of $60 million deal. A little bit of an overpay for an interior defensive lineman, but he does get pressure up the middle. Miami needs to keep their talent. They kind of have a turnover issue in Miami. You need to keep all the talent you can in Miami. Great sign, re-signing, provides some stability, and helps the team. Can't hate that move. As a Patriots fan, does Emmanuel Ogbah scare me? No. But he's a good player. Another Miami player, this is a signing. Chase Edmonds from the Cardinals. Now, this is actually one of those signings that I think is going to fly under the radar, but I really can't wait to see him in Miami. The new head coach, Mike McDaniel, really needs a running back that's going to, play in that scheme. And Myles Gaskin is really inconsistent, and that was for basketball. When he's in, the inconsistency of Myles Gaskin and I think Patrick Laird is the other running back. I'm not 100% sure on that. Their inconsistency means you're not going to be able to run a scheme through them. But I think Edmonds is just good enough where you can run a scheme around him that's going to benefit him. He had some good games with Arizona, and he was a pretty good fit with James Conner, I think, until he got injured. James Conner also re-signed. We'll get to that in a second. I like this. I think this is going to be one of those signings that's going to be kind of flying under the radar until about August, but when you actually see him in the game, he's going to be a game changer for the Dolphins. I'm calling that one. Like I said, James Conner getting a payday for his 18-touchdown season. You love to see a running back get paid. You can say what you want from a GM perspective about paying running backs. I get it. You don't pay running backs. But you have to be happy as a fan and as someone who watches the game to see these running backs get paid. Normally they only get one contract. Sometimes they don't even get out of their rookies. After a rookie contract, a lot of times they just kind of treat running backs like that's it. So I love to see guys like James Conner, especially his story. You guys know his story. Getting paid, you love to see it. Get your payday. Good job. Larry Ogunjobi. This is starting to get to the big money stuff. Larry Ogunjobi signs with the Bears, 3-year, $40 million. Now, of course, day ones, they always seem like a lot. Normally they are. These are the guys setting the market. As you'll see in a minute, a couple of guys really set the market. But Larry Ogunjobi, a solid guy. He's going to help alleviate the loss of Mac Jones. Will he completely negate it? No. However, it's good to see a team trying to support their rookie quarterback with a defense. Now, will he be great? Probably not, but you don't need greatness on your interior. You need solid play, consistent play, and you're going to get a good push, whether it's a run play, a pass play. You're going to get push up front. And that's what you need. Great get for the Bears. Maybe a little bit of an overpay, but for stability, you really can't put a price tag on it. Seattle, this is a huge. Talk about stability. Quandre Diggs signs a 3-year, $40 million deal. I don't hate it. He's been a ball hawk in Seattle. Now, you know Seattle's going to be going through some weird times. They don't really have a quarterback right now. They're really not the front runner in the Deshaun Watson thing like we talked about yesterday. So we'll have to see what happens with the Seahawks. But Quandre Diggs, great player. You can't argue that. He's a good player. I think 10 interceptions over the last couple of years. He has a lot of passes defended as well. You could argue top 10, top 12 safety in the league. Great re-sign for Seattle. Get some stability on that team. Not even on the defense, just the team. Get some stability. Understand what direction we're going in. It's a rebuild. And Seattle hasn't been in a rebuild in, 8 years, 9 years. Good get for Seattle to re-sign one of their cores. This one hurts a little bit. Ted Cross goes to Cincinnati. Another free agent from New England loses. Now this one was actually, I think, unexpected. I thought he would come back, maybe be a 6 offensive lineman. Bill Belichick loves those guys, 6 offensive lineman type guys. No, signs about a $6 million a year for 3-year contract with Cincinnati. Cincinnati's really supporting Burrow. They've seen 2 years now of him getting pummeled, and they don't want to see it again. I think more moves are coming. They really need to get a right tackle in that scheme. I don't think they have that guy there yet, and they also don't really have a center. Kurt Pickens, I don't think, is your center of the future in Cincinnati. So get you another center, maybe in the draft. Get him maybe a right tackle. Penning, great guy in Cincinnati. Get a mean guy to protect Burrow. You may have to trade up for him, but go for it. Good get for the Bengals. Some stability on the offensive line. Brandon Sheriff. Now, he's one of the moves I wasn't expecting. I always thought he'd be a Washington player, since they've been through 3 names in the last 4 years. A Washington player for life. But no, he's going to the Jaguars. This was the Jaguars' first move of the day, and it was probably their best. They had a huge fumble. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But he's going to Jacksonville. I don't think the terms of that contract were released quite yet. If they are, I'm sorry. Huge deal. Trevor Lawrence needs to be protected. He needs to have weapons around him, and they got a weapon around him. Just not a good weapon. Scherf is great, though. He's consistent. He's he's what you need in an offensive lineman. That Jacksonville offensive line wasn't good last year. Didn't really have much pull in the offensive line, and he brings that ability. He can pull. It opens the playbook up, especially if Travis Etienne comes back next year. Maybe some more crack tosses to the right. Give Scherf that opportunity, and he's going to get you some yards. As weird as that is to say about an offensive lineman, if you don't have the guys to block, it really limits your playbook, both in the run and the pass. Huge get. Another Jacksonville player. I am going to try to pronounce his name. I'm going to say it wrong, and I'm sorry in advance. Foye Folukson, I think, the linebacker. Now, there's a nose tackle with a similar name. We'll get to him in a minute. This is the linebacker. I think they get him for about $45 million. He was on the Falcons. very speedy linebacker, one of the faster ones in the league, really. I don't really know how he's going to fit in the scheme, though. Jacksonville kind of runs a weird hybrid scheme. I know Doug Peterson ran a little bit of 4-3 when he was with Philly, so I don't know if he's going to kind of run, but in your nickel packages, he's fast enough that he can play with, the safeties and the extra defensive back. Now, is he worth $45 million a year? I probably would say no. However, again, Jacksonville needs talent. They have cap room. If you have cap room, you have to try to get talent. I don't think it's an awful deal. I just don't think it's one you're going to really talk about much during game day. But if he plays solid, good move. And then the last really good news was the nose tackle from the Jets. I'm sorry, I think it's Bekutashi. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Phenomenal nose tackle. $30 million, a little expensive for my taste. However, nose tackles, if you don't think you're going to be in position to draft one, if you're Jacksonville, if you think there's more positions you need to draft, hint edge rusher, go for it. Great player. I'm surprised the Jets let him walk in the first place. He was, great. I think he was only one of 8 players that had 15 running stops, whatever, tackles for loss, and then he also had 15 quarterback pressures. That's an elite category. That's TJ Watt level stuff. He's a nose tackle. He's going to get you some pressure up front, whether it's first down and second down, or even third down if he can, stay on the field that long. You'll love to see it. Good signing by the Jaguars. Get him out of the AFC East. I'm all for it. The big dog, Matthew Slater, returning for his 15th season. Best special teamer of all time. Trasker believers? No. Slater's the best special teamer of all time. Coming back to New England, I think it's like a $2 million deal. Perfect. He's worth, honestly, more. You'll love to see it. He's on his year-to-year thing. It may be his last season. Who knows? Laken Tomlinson. Now, this was a contract I didn't fully get. I understand, he was on the 49ers. He's had a solid few seasons, former first-round pick. Hasn't lived up to the first-round, name. However, he got $40 million from the Jets. Personally, I don't think I'd pay him $40 million. But the Jets, like I said, just like the Bengals, like the Jags, they need just pure talent on that roster. Accumulate your talent, understand where they play and how they fit into a scheme later. You need to get talent, especially around a young quarterback like Zach Wilson. Now, Zach Wilson, you're going to see a lot of different opinions about his rookie year. Some people are only going to look at his overall numbers and say, well, he was okay. But if you actually look at it, he was one of the better rookie quarterbacks down the stretch. He was up there with Mac Jones and Davis Mills. I really liked what I saw out of him. I thought he was the second best overall rookie quarterback last year. I think I'd take him over Davis Mills, personally. Great guy. Get an offensive line around him, let him live, and let him see his 30s without, bursted knees. That's the goal. Braxton Berrios. There were a lot of Patriot rumors around Braxton Berrios. I wasn't about it. I don't think he would fit in what we're trying to do in New England. I think we already have a slot in Jacoby Myers. He's our slot receiver of the future. I also think that we also have a punt returner that is the future in Gunnar Olszewski. So the Berrios rumors never made sense. He gets $12 million over 2 years with the Jets. Great for the Jets. Re-sign your guy. He was pretty much your offense down the stretch last year. He was the only consistent player. But $6 million for a punt returner / 400 receiving yards, not a bad deal. I'm just kind of glad he didn't go to New England. Still love him, though. All love, but didn't think he'd fit in New England. This is the big one. This is the one that has Twitter and everyone else just out of their minds. Christian Kirk gets $84 million over 4 years. Yeah, that's bad. Christian Kirk himself isn't a bad wide receiver at all. And I don't want to come out here and say he's a bum. He's an NFL athlete, one of the better receivers, wide receiver 2s in the league. He's good. Is he $84 million over 4 years good? No. I hate to say it. I'm happy he got his money. Hey, man, if you can get $84 million out of somebody, go for it. Get your money. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's a horrible move by Jacksonville. He's pretty much a wide receiver 2, but he's very limited to the slot. He's not really an outside threat. And when you're not an outside threat and you're not stretching that field, and you already have a guy like Laviska Shenault on the Jags that can be that slot presence, it doesn't make sense. I'm not for the contract overall, but you have to be happy to see a guy get his money, man. Go get it. $84 million, I think something like 70-something is guaranteed. Awesome. Good stuff. But it destroys the receiver market. I don't know if New England's going to be able to sign a receiver at this point. DJ Chark and, why do I keep calling him Chark? Chark and Allen Robinson's values have gone up. Devontae Adams is going to might ask for $100 million from Green Bay at this point. It's a huge deal. It kind of resets the receiver market. Speaking of Kirk Cousins gets like another $30-something million from the Vikings. 1 year, fully guaranteed. He's the man, dude. He's getting his paycheck. He has a career like 500 record. Good stuff, man. Get your paycheck. You're living a dream. You have to love it. From his perspective, the Vikings, I just don't think they see anything better out there. They don't really see anything worse out there. Go for it. Resign your guy, build around him, and try to win a Super Bowl. Will you? Probably not. Roger Stafford to the Bills, kind of a smaller deal. Keep Josh Allen up. You need that because, well, he was kind of getting hit a lot and he was forced to rush all last year. He shouldn't be. Got it again. Josh Allen, freak athlete. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Hot take. But you need to keep him upright, and you need to keep him in the pocket more, keep him safe. That's all you really need. Hassan Reddick, another big deal. He went to the Eagles, but he only got 45 over 3. I was expecting more. 70 over 4? I was expecting a lot more. Edge rushers are hard to come by. He had a lot of sacks with Carolina last year. I don't know exactly. But more than sacks, just pressures. Him and Brian Burns had a case to be the best edge rushing duo in the league. Great signing for the Eagles. Get some stability up front. Get some awareness. That defense was a little shaky last year, especially in the front seven. It helps Darius Slay, gives him less time he has to cover, and the more ability you have, go for it. It's always good to have pass rushing. You can never have enough pass rush skills in the NFL. B.J. Hill, the big boy, another nose tackle, 3-year, $30 million. That's kind of. If y'all remember last year, that was like the contract. I think the Dolphins gave up 8 of those. Huge deal for B.J. Hill. Re-signed with Cincy. Again, trying to keep some presence up front. They lost, I think it was Ogunjobi. So, 50-50 on that. Good get overall. You'll have to love it. Michael Gallup, again, I think Michael Gallup is better than Christian Kirk. Michael Gallup gets 5 for 57 from Dallas. So, not bad. I think it's better than Christian Kirk. So, Marquez. Now I'm gonna get. This isn't a signing, but Marquez Valdes-Scantling is asking for $12+ million a year in his camp. Guarantee you that's because Christian Kirk just got paid a huge bag. No reason. Huge for Marquez Valdes-Scantling if you can get that. There's rumors New England are interested. I'm not interested in him personally. I think he's kind of like a Nelson Aguilar, just a couple inches taller. Not huge on that. Colt McCoy, backup quarterback for the Cardinals, re-signs 2 years, $7 million. If you want to talk about dream job, he sits there, he practices a few days a week, runs the scout team, and then just gets to chill for 4 hours and watch an NFL game. It don't get better than that. Mo Alley Cox, $18 million over 3 years from the Colts. He comes back. That's big for them. They needed that. Can't ask for much more than that. Backup tight end, stability. I keep saying stability, but that's really what this free agency period has been. A lot more re-signs and a lot more, restructuring than actual, guys signing with new teams. Jarvis Landry got cut. That's another one. He got cut, possibly New England. I don't know yet. 50-50. Will Dissly gets $24 million over 3 years from Seattle. Nah, I don't like that. I don't think he's better really than Mo Alley Cox. Again, backup tight end. He's going to be backing up Noah Fant. Seems like a lot of money. That's not a backup tight end. Devondre Campbell gets his money. He signed a $2 million deal with the Packers. Now he's getting $50 million from the Packers. Huge get for him. Preston Smith also upped with the Packers on a $70 million deal. Zadarius Smith got cut. He's not expected to come back. Green Bay didn't have enough cap to keep all those guys. Cedric Wilson to Miami. 2-year, $23 million. 3-year, $23 million. They're not paying him 11 year. Great get for Miami. Give Tua a third receiver. Or maybe they're giving Teddy Bridgewater a third receiver. No, I'm just playing. Teddy Bridgewater also signs with Miami. 1-year deal. They say he's going to be a backup. Who knows? I'm not going to start that controversy. That's not my controversy to start. However, I do think Bridgewater can be a winning quarterback in the NFL. And if you ask me between Tua and Teddy, 50-50. We've already talked about the J.C. Jackson. Lyle Collins, from the Cowboys, couldn't find a trade partner, likely to be released in the next couple of days. Name to keep an eye on, could be a target for Cincinnati. I think if Cincinnati targets him, get a rookie center like a Tyler Linderbaum if they trade up. Bengals got one of the better offensive lines we've seen in a while. And finally, Carlton Davis re-ups with Tampa Bay for 3-year, $45 million. That was one of their primary objectives, was to re-sign Carlton Davis. They see him as a key cog in Tampa Bay. Awesome. Now, and then some of the ones that's happened since in the last 20 minutes that I've started. Evan Ingram, 1-year, $10 million deals with the Jaguars. Yeah. Kind of gross. I don't like it. I don't think Evan Ingram's worth $10 million. And I don't really think he fits in the Jaguars. So, yeah. Steelers are bringing back Chukwuma Okafor. Not bad. He's been on the right side for a couple years in Pittsburgh. Some, solid play. Can't be mad at that. That was it. All that's happened in the last few minutes. And then I made a TikTok because Tom Brady couldn't go 40 days without screwing up the NFL's landscape. I'm sure you guys know, he re-upped with Tampa Bay. He's coming back unretired. Why retire in the first place and then come back 40 days later? Who knows? I don't know Brady. I don't know his mind. But he's now back with Tampa Bay, and I'm sure that's why guys like Carlton Davis came back. Ryan Jensen, I forgot to mention him. He came back, I think on a 3-year, $33 million deal, something like that. Not bad. So Tampa Bay's back in it. They went from being borderline not even a playoff team to back to Super Bowl favorites. Because if you have Tom Brady, you should be a Super Bowl favorite. Well, I think that's all of the moves that has happened. Yeah, really. So I guess we'll just talk about a few of the guys that haven't signed yet, where I think they should sign. First of all, Allen Robinson and G.J. Sharp. I think New England should target one of them if their price range isn't through the roof. Should they be asking for a lot? Yes, because I think they both have arguments. They're better than Christian Kirk. And if Christian Kirk got that much money, they should be, open the checkbook type of guys. I'm here for it if they can come to New England. But realistically, teams like Detroit, without much money to spend, look to maybe a team like Detroit. 49ers could be a team. I'm not sure that their cap situation looks like. They've been kind of quiet today overall. They're a team to look out for. I didn't really make a list. They're just kind of there. Jarvis Landry, like I said, he would be more of a Patriots fit. 1-year prove-it deal type of guy. But if not New England, if I'm not being biased, look for a team like Green Bay. 1 year, $6 million. Or maybe he goes to the Rams, team up with his, Beckham again. Possibilities. Okay, that's not free agency news. What else is going on around? Really? That's pretty much it. I can't really think of any of the big... I know Jadeveon Clowney is still available. Guys like him, but mostly a lot of the free agents have pretty much been decided already. Juju Smith-Schuster, I know, has a decision to make, and there's a few others, but that's pretty much it. So, overall, I'm pretty happy with what's happened so far. I know a lot of Patriots fans are probably, crying about it and saying we haven't done anything. Well, yeah, we haven't, because last year was just an exception. We'll make some moves in the upcoming days. I imagine we'll have a few outside guys coming in before Wednesday. Free agency deals. Now, all of what I've just said isn't official. They can, players can change their minds up until Wednesday, until the contract is signed. So this is just the legal tampering period. Again, obviously, nobody has ever talked to a player before noon today, and anyone saying otherwise is just lying. But that's about it for now. Follow me on TikTok if there's anything that happens tonight. I will make a little TikTok about it. I will post the link to the TikTok in the description after this live stream is up. I think I'm going to do this live stream format from now on. The last two videos were pre-recorded. I was having some issues with Streamlabs, but I think now that I've got Streamlabs working at a pretty decent level, I need to look at this mic situation because the audio quality is not great. But I'm going to see what's going on with that. But TikTok tonight, any updates, any major deals that happen, any trade maybe. We haven't seen any trades today. Who knows? I will see you guys on there. So thank you guys for watching. This isn't really an episode of the Fullback Dive Podcast. I'm not going to list it as an episode. It's just going to be, free agency reactions. Episode 3 will probably come out either Wednesday or Thursday after free agency deals are officially being signed. I'll give some winners and losers of free agency, some teams, players who I think, won, lost, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for watching this episode. Make sure you guys follow, like, do all that good stuff. Follow me on TikTok and Twitter. Follow me everywhere.